All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got two for the price of one on this one. I was going to interview both these guys, and I thought, you know what? They're both Ryoma boys. Let's do a special Ryoma episode. We got Chase Thomas and Zoom user Rob Mayernik right here. Two guys getting ready to fight for big titles on May 13th in Bridgeport. How you guys feeling?
Good, man.
Let's start with Rob. You got seniority here. You've been fighting a little longer. So, Rob, how you feeling about this one?
Good, bro. I'm real excited for this one. Nobody else in my weight division would accept a fight with me, so I got this guy, Cody Noble. He's pretty good. He's coming in from out of nowhere, so I give him respect for that. But I'm all ready.
And I think this is a long time coming. You know, we last saw you against Armani Bellman, and that was a fight where you lost a split decision, but I think a lot of people, including myself, thought you won that fight and that title should be yours. So here's your second chance to win that NLC belt. How have you been feeling about all that?
Good. Don't even get me started on that, kid. You know, he came in there, 21-0, and thought he was just going to run through me. And I told everyone that he's not as good as everybody thinks he is. And then, you know, who has he fought besides me? No one. I believe that I won the second and third round. I just, you know, and that's another thing. That was my first time in a cage, boxing in a cage. And I didn't train for him to run from me the whole fight. So.
And dude, I don't know. I've never done it. I've not boxed in a cage, but I can imagine how strange it is because it's a totally different game in there.
Yeah, I was having trouble cutting him off.
Yeah,
that was my biggest thing. And I just couldn't do it in the cage. But you know, at Bridgeport, it's also going to be in a cage, so I'm going to be prepared for that. And
so Chase, this is your first title shot. That's a big thing. How are you feeling about it?
It's just another fight to me, man. I'm just trying to rack up my wins and go pro eventually.
And so far, you've looked nothing but flawless. We saw you, you know, your first win. It was a little more of a dogfight, but man, you were cracking that guy with some big shots. That's when you got Chris and the Fireball Kid.
Yeah.
And your last one against Vanderlyn, that was a beautiful TKO. You cracked him with that right hand, dropped him, and then finished him off. How did that feel, getting that first round stoppage?
It felt really good. I think like my first fight, even though it went to decision, I feel like I dominated most of the fight. I think I could have got a finish, but I was just real nervous my first time getting in there. I think if I would have changed some things up in my first one, I could have got a finish. But yeah, Vanderlyn was a tough opponent. He came out a lot more aggressive than I expected him to. But I was glad to when I seen him drop, I knew it was over, and I was just glad to get the stoppage.
So I want to talk about Ryoma Academy. You know, that's kind of why I wanted to have you fellas on together. I wanted to talk about day-to-day life at that gym because I've only gotten to see you guys at events. And your gym is just a little bit different than a lot of the gyms you see at the local level. Like, that's a real deal mixed martial arts gym. So what's training been like?
Me or Rob? Which one you want to go first?
Whoever wants to shoot. I want you guys to fight it out.
I think it's been great. Like I said, Cody Matthews, he just got a second round knockout win over a very tough guy. He's been in a fight camp basically the same time as us. So I've been able to watch him model what he does. I mean, Brent and Cody are kind of like Swiss Army knives as coaches. They're like nutritionist coaches. They're like everything in one. I've been approaching my nutrition this time like a pro should. Like training's been going great.
And how about you, Rob?
Oh, it's awesome, man. Brent, he's like a brother to me. He's taught me a lot of stuff. I'm the only boxer currently in that gym. It's just great, man. We're getting in 15 3-minute rounds, every night, sparring. It's an amazing gym, man.
I knew you guys were a different breed when I saw you bring that incubator for Logan Chuck. That's when you brought that weight cutting tent. Jacob Ray was there, and I remember him calling it an incubator.
Yeah.
He said, "If I don't make this cut, man, I'm gonna go get jerk Logan Chuck out of that incubator and hop in."
Yeah, we also got Noah Kitska on this card too with us.
So tell me a little bit about Noah. I don't think we've seen him before.
Yeah, I'm excited for his fight. He's an animal. He looks good. Chase knows him more. So go ahead, Chase.
He's 1-0 over a pretty tough opponent. He fought for 24/7 fight series. We're excited to get him on the same card as us this time. He's a dog in the training room. He's normally a wrestler, but I think he's going to use his strike in this fight. It'll be really exciting.
So I wanted to ask you both something. I'll start with Chase because Rob's the quieter guy. Rob's a guy who's so quiet he almost scares me sometimes. How'd you guys get started in this game? I like to hear everybody's origin story in the sport. So what's yours, Chase?
I had a pretty decent wrestling background. I'd wrestled my whole life. I almost wrestled in college, and then I just I almost wrestled for Garrett College and end up just decided not to. And I was just looking for like a new way to compete. And I thought, well, getting punched in the face sounds pretty fun. So I'll go try that out. And took my first class at Ryoma, and I've been there ever since.
And Rob, how about you?
I got started in this game. So in middle school and high school, I was a street fighter until the day I got jumped by 3 guys that broke my jaw. I got metal plates in my jaw. And then after that, I was like, well, let's get into a gym. And then I believe it was 2018, I actually did Rough and Rowdy. Lost that. And then ever since that day, just real boxing, training. I've only been with Brent here for like a year. I moved up here, and I don't plan on going anywhere else but Ryoma.
So when you first started fighting, you had no training at all?
No, none, zero.
So what was that like?
Well, up until I met Brent, I really didn't get taught anything. So it's just been a crazy ride, man.
How has your perspective on the sport changed since you've actually started dedicating yourself to it fully?
The more you put in, the more you get out. Work harder than everybody else.
Chase, we got to talk about this next fight. You're fighting Chance Grilla, who I think it's definitely safe to say he's a big step up in competition for you, which I think that's exactly what you wanted. So I'm sure you've been watching footage. I'm sure you've been looking at him. Like, talk me through this fight.
I think it's got the potential to be a close fight. he's got respectable grappling. I've watched his fights. Brown belt in jiu-jitsu, I believe. So you got to respect that. He catches guys. So, like, he catches a lot of guys quick. And so, like, I think both his fights for New Line, he's caught a guy first round sub. But I'm just gonna be careful, and I'm gonna be smart, and I'm gonna be calm. I don't feel like I was as calm as I should have been in my last fight. I feel like I was a little tense. But once we started exchanging a little bit, I calmed down and I was able to get the finish. I feel like this time I'm gonna enter the cage calm. I've been there before. I'm just gonna approach it differently.
How much of a factor do you think your wrestling is going to play into that? Because I know you've had a good wrestling background. Do you plan on trying to stand and trade with him on the feet and stay away from that jiu-jitsu, or do you mind going to the ground with him?
Either way, I'm just gonna let the fight play out. I'm comfortable both ways. I just gotta watch submissions, not get caught in nothing. But I'm pretty confident in my wrestling. If he wants to get in grappling exchanges, I'm pretty confident in myself.
And I think, Rob, you've been doing this a while now. I know that Cody Noble's kind of an unknown quantity, and you just found out you were fighting him because it's been tough to find you an opponent. Have you been able to see any footage or find out anything about him?
I have. I watched a couple tapes on him. He throws the typical overhand right a lot. If he throws in this fight, he's going to get finished.
And go ahead, Rob. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot more punches this fight. A quicker me. I am dropping down to 165. I've always been a little bit heavier, but I feel like this is my weight. And at this weight, I don't think nobody got the power I do. There's my first fight with Eric Mullen. I take my hat off to him. I did drop him 3 times, but every time he got back up. And Armon was a wake up call, but I'm coming to finish this kid.
And so now that you've dropped down to that weight, I don't know if you're walking around at it or if you're going to cut. But how you feeling? I'm sure that I know you probably needed to do it, and it's taken a lot of dedication and hard work to get there. I'm sure you probably feel like a different guy at this weight.
I do. I feel a lot healthier, quicker, stronger. I'm just going to get in there and, show people what we do at Ryoma.
Well, I'm going to give you guys the last words. I think that's about all I've got for you. Chase, I'll start with you. What do you got to say to the people? What's the Fireball Kid have to say?
Hey, Bridgeport, May 13th. Be there. Shout out, Lona Koning.
And Rob Mayernik, I think we got to get you a nickname. Do you have a nickname already, or do I need to figure something out?
I don't, bro. I think you got to figure something out.
I'm thinking the Street Fighter. That's my first thought.
I was thinking Iron Rob.
But Iron Rob. You can't go wrong. There's a lot. I'm gonna go back to the workshop and I'm gonna figure it out. Because we got to get something as good or better than the Fireball Kid. Look at those T-shirts he made. He's probably gonna make $1 million off those. But you're gonna get your payday too soon. I promise you that.
They're pretty cool T-shirts. They really are.
I like them, man. If you like Chase Thomas, if you're struck by how beautiful his red hair is, go buy a T-shirt. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been the boys from Ryoma Academy up in Maryland. We're going to see them soon.